All right, guys, as you can see, new strategy that we've implemented for back workouts is starting with conventional deadlifts. I know a lot of you guys that have followed me in the past, you're used to me seeing, you were used to seeing me doing sumo deadlifts. And there's kind of a reason why I switched to conventional. Well, don't get me wrong, I personally love sumo deadlifts. I feel like they're, especially if you're a taller person, they're kind of a lot better suited for taller people. But one thing that I do feel like, and I feel like my back kind of gains this off season, I kind of feel like have been a lot attributed to the switch to conventional deadlifts. I feel like with sumo deadlifts, you're getting a lot more glute hamstring and just not as much pure, back. I feel like conventional deadlifts are just so much more targeting the back, especially the lower to mid back. So this is why I feel like I've switched to conventional deadlifts, is purely just for the benefit of more back gains, more back thickness, more back density, all that stuff. And obviously another reason why we switched was, hearing I mentioned Doug Miller's name a lot, just because obviously the guy has one of the freakiest backs you'll ever see on a natural bodybuilding stage. Whether you believe he's natural or not, doesn't matter. But nobody can argue that he doesn't have a great, just thick, dense back. And he really attributes that, he says, to starting his workouts, all of his workouts, with conventional deadlifts. So again, this is just some of the multiple reasons why kind of making this switch. I've never purely focused this much on deadlifts, specifically conventional deadlifts. So again, it's just something new that I'm trying, and I really feel like my back has responded really well to this new training strategy. So I'm sticking with it. So now we're moving on. You can all thank Alberto Nunez for these. One thing I will say though is I definitely prefer, if you can set it up, the barbell version. I prefer it much more. I tried the dumbbell version, it's all right, but once I tried the barbell version, I've never gone back to dumbbells. So if you have access to being able to set that up, barbell seal rows, man, they're a staple now. I love them. So now I'm just gonna kind of go over kind of my main favorite rowing movements. This is just a hammer strength plate loaded single arm row. This is just one of those ones that I love because I feel like it's so easy. You're in a great chest supported position there where it's just really easy to isolate the lats. It's not like a dumbbell row where it kind of takes a lot more kind of technique and things like that to isolate your lats. It's just easy to pull straight back, and it's just really easy to isolate your lats. Another staple, T-bar rows. And one thing I try to do with these is I'm trying to stay, most people you'll notice, especially when they start going heavier, they start almost standing straight up to where it's more like a shrug and not a row. So with these, I've been trying to keep my back, as you can see, more parallel to the ground. I mean, I come up a little bit, but my main focus is trying to keep my back more parallel to the ground. And then obviously, you can never forget just plain old, barbell rows, always going to be a staple. On this particular day, we just went kind of lighter, higher rep, really focusing on squeezing. And what I kind of did with this video, guys, is I took my last two back workouts and kind of took some clips of most of the exercises that we did, and I'm just kind of including both of them in this one video just to kind of give you guys an idea of all of my kind of current favorite. I mean, if there's a reason, if I'm doing an exercise in a video, I'm not just doing it because there's a specific plan and reason why I'm doing that specific exercise. That's why I like showing you guys these videos, because I try to make them as educational as possible. And being a natural professional bodybuilder, I feel like these videos are just very helpful for all of you out there watching, and especially aspiring competitors. So just kind of giving you guys a great kind of ideas for new exercises to try, giving you tips on form, all that stuff. But obviously cable rows, always a staple. And one thing I've been trying to do with these that I think I got this from Cliff Wilson, is trying to kind of stay more upright. As you see, a lot of guys, when they start going with heavier weight, they really lean back. I will say it is hard. The heavier weight you do, it is hard to stay completely vertical, but I just felt like these did feel a lot more solid, staying more upright. And then we have two kind of pullover variations that I'm going to include in here. This is using a easy bar curl, or easy bar, going wide grip. And again, this is another one where, and you'll see in my clip, I kind of messed it up a little bit, but Devin did a better job at staying more parallel to the floor. I kind of start to come up a little bit on mine. As you'll see, I need to kind of lower my back down more. But this one, the stretch at the top of your lats, ooh, that's why I really like these kind of pullovers, especially I like putting them right in the middle of a back workout, as it just feels like it really stretches out your lats and kind of gets everything loosened up. And I really feel like as well, like these pullover movements, I feel like I've added some nice kind of width to my lats. So especially when I think of, like, you know, doing a front, as a bodybuilder, doing a front relaxed, doing a front lat spread, I really feel like my lats are really starting to get a lot more width to them from the front, and I attribute a lot of those gains to being consistent. I was never really consistent in the past with doing pullover type movements, but this off season I've been really consistent. Now this is moving on. This is a movement. This is a pullover, but we're using a kettlebell. This is something that I took from John Meadows, and as you'll notice too, if you kind of can tell here, the grip, we're kind of gripping on the outside with our palms are kind of, trying to think, facing out. You kind of notice here, if you kind of pause the video right there, you notice the grip on this, and also too on all of my back movements. Doesn't matter what exercise it is, I go thumbless on every single exercise to make sure that I'm not gripping the handle, the bar, the dumbbell, the barbell, whatever, and causing tension in my forearms. I really try to keep my hands, I kind of like treat them as hooks, and I just really try to focus on most movements of just driving with my elbows and focusing on isolating my back and not my arms, like a lot of people will try to do when they work their back. So again, this is just a great stretch. Really like it. Give it a shot. It feels better to me than the dumbbell version. Another thing that we do is kind of focus on upper back movement. So we're going back to the hammer strength plate loaded row here. Going two hands where you put the seat lower, again, because we're trying to focus on upper back. So seat is going to be lowered, as you can see here, double or two arms at a time, and just really focusing on stretching and pulling back and focusing on that upper back. Another movement that we like to do for upper back, this is a behind the neck. I know a lot of people are against behind the neck, but the key here for to keep things safe is, you'll notice Devin and I, we stop when our arms and shoulders hit right at 90 degrees. I feel like if you start going below that, that's where I think problems could happen. But if you stay right at 90 like this, it's just a great stretch in the lats, and I really feel it. Like almost right where my lat attaches below my shoulder, so right where I want it as far as upper back. And then again, finishing back workouts with some traps. This is I love this movement. This is it's just a cable rope upright row, so your hands are close together. So focusing more on just pulling straight up, focusing on hitting the traps, and then finishing with just Devin did behind the back. I think I did it from the front. Just finishing with some Smith machine, just because it's easier to isolate and hold the shrug. I feel like these are great for you're really trying to isolate the traps. And so that pretty much concludes it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and you'll see I'm leaving some pictures at the end here that kind of show. I feel like my back has kind of taken another jump as far as progression, and these workouts and things like that, these new strategies that I'm implementing are really paying off. So I will see you in the next video. For your workout, 2 packages, Trader Joe's ground turkey, cooking that up. And then I'm also in the old rice cooker. Kind of hard to tell here, but I have 3 uncooked cups of jasmine rice in here with 6 cups of water. So I'll have tons of rice. I just put it in Tupperware and always have it in the fridge to reheat up rice.
What seasoning do you use?
Oh, seasonings?
Yeah.
I do this organic, no salt seasoning, a little bit of black pepper, a little bit of sea salt, a little bit of garlic salt. I'll even do a little bit of kosher salt. So spices up that ground turkey real good.